If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. We're back 2 Wednesdays in a row. That's right. I know we were gone for 3 weeks, but you're seeing our temporary set here again. Yes, we have not built a new one. I want to set some expectations here, everybody. It's going to take a while. I would say think 8 weeks. That's right. So you can start the clocks now, think 8 weeks, and that's probably about the time that will tell you we'll need another 2 weeks to get the studio done. But the new studio's coming. But for now, this is a fun one. I like this TDW behind me. But that's not why you're here. We're actually talking tonight about a little news and playing a little Wheel of Game Time. That's right. Have you seen this? If you missed this thing, this is amazing. Oliver's ears. Well done. We are going to be spinning that thing, which I'm assuming is going to work a lot better than our Costco version already. So we'll be playing that tonight. Also a little unblurring. So to do all these things with me, covering the news, and I have two guests that I can't wait to introduce. So without further ado, let me welcome to the show Anas and Leah. How are you both doing? You did the double hand wave, which I think is so... No one even prompted you to do that. Like, I'd never even said do a double hand waves. Did you guys talk about this, like, outside of the show?
We're just...
We know. We knew.
That was good. Well, welcome, first-timers here at the Dusty Wheel. How are you feeling?
Super stoked. Not nervous at all.
There's no nerves here.
Yeah.
People are laughing because Taylor slid the wheel in. We just had like a cool slider, you know. Every once in a while, Taylor's been pretty interactive. I don't know if you guys have noticed lately. Back at the old inn, he would just sleep on the ground and stuff. But I feel like he's really been in the game here these last 2 episodes. Maybe this will continue. So let's jump into it. The news, as I have here on screen, Aviendha and Perrin Season 2. Okay, so for those of you watching right now, we're going to discuss some WoTSeries scoop that they had today about Season 2. If you don't want anything from Season 2 to be potentially spoiled for you, now is probably a good time to like say, hey, everybody, it's awesome to see you, and leave, because we're going to be talking about that a lot. Now, before we tell everybody kind of what that news is, I'm kind of curious. I'm not that speaking details. Anas, were you happy to get some What Wednesday news today?
Oh, I mean, for sure. And, news that's maybe controversial. That's, lights Twitter time alive. That's great. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
sure.
it is. it's nice when the Tweeter of Chaos can't give us something that WoTSeries comes through. I'll be honest.
Yes.
WoTSeries, if we can all just congratulate WoTSeries for holding up the tradition. And Taylor, if you can throw the mouse for me, I can't get it over that screen. I know, dude. Okay, so let me end this poll because I'm going to be asking a lot of people here. About 200 of you voted on this. Will Gaul be cut from the Wheel of Time TV show? 20% say yes, 80% said no. We're not going to talk about that yet. But keep that result in mind. We are going to get to this topic. So let me end this one and let me show you the news. And let's just read this together, everybody. And then we will talk about it here. So this dropped today. Scoop audition tape and filming information hint at Aviendha's story. So here we go. Thanks to April's casting announcements, we know that Ayoola Smart has been cast in the role of Aviendha. Since that, everyone's, as they said, have been speculating about Aviendha's role and how it's going to unfold in season 2. And this one said they recently discovered or uncovered some information that offers hints about how the characters will be introduced, starting with an audition video for a character we believe is Aviendha. The video has since been removed and will not be providing the name of the actor who auditioned out of respect for their privacy. However, we do have a transcript of that audition below. So these are scenes between characters that we believe are Aviendha and Perrin. And this is a good reminder here because we've kind of shown these before. This audition tape doesn't mean this is exact dialogue that actually ends up in the show. But, it still is. I'm trying to think, if we think back through all the audition tapes that we've been seeing before, has anyone gone through and actually looked into how well that did actually show up in season 1? The ones we found, we should do that. I have to ping good old WoTSeries for that piece of information. They said we've submitted code names in the Wheel of Time names and terms we believe they represent brackets. However, there were quite a few lines in what we believe was supposed to be Old Tongue. Since we're unable to provide a good transcription for these Old Tongue sections, we've removed them as noted below. So, okay, here we go. Scene 1, Aviendha. My name is Aviendha, the 9 Valleys Sept of the Tardad Aiel. Old Tongue, my water. I like the bracket is yours. Perrin's obviously saying here, I am Perrin Ibarra. And Aviendha says, you don't swing the sword badly, which is an interesting Perrin Ibarra. And Perrin says, I thought your people never left the waste. Aviendha says, wetlanders call it the waste. It's a threefold land, a shaping stone, a testing ground to prove our worth, and a punishment for the sin. And Perrin says, what sin? Aviendha says, nobody remembers. It was so long ago. Perrin says, where will you go now? Aviendha, where you go, wetlander, you're my unknown. Unknown is an unpaid debt. You saved my life, so I owe you my shelter. It's not a lover, wetlander, though I wouldn't be opposed. Laughs. Don't worry, Perrin Ibarra, I will not attack you in a fit of lust. So where do we go now? Okay, let's start with that scene. and just so we understand why these two guests are here. First of all, Anas is, beyond just being an excellent person and fan, is an awesome mod here at the Dusty Wheel. I love having Anas here with us and being on the show. But with Anas, we have Leah. And Leah, do you want to introduce kind of what your role is in maybe another live show out there?
Yes. So I am on a show with several other Twitter account holders, and we are all IEL accounts. So we've got Melindra, we've got Fane and Chiad, who I'm sure is trying not to freak out right now at this potential Gaul news. And Wise One Jelly. And then we've got our token Wetlander, Rob. We're called Threefold Talk. So I am the Roofmistress, and the Innkeeper invited me on tonight to give a little more IEL context.
That's right.
So I will be answering any questions you Wetlanders have about the IEL.
You exactly. You're our expert tonight, so I hope you I hope that you answer all of my questions. And Anas, I like to think of Anas here as far as our mod in chat. Anas is always with us in chat and basically keeping the place as a place that Wheel of Timers love to come, or Dusty Wheelers love to come enjoy themselves, if you will. Someday, Anas, you should join our mod team. You should do it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I'm like making you like a live offer. Do you want to do that? No, but This is a great question. Let me jump back to actually this script here. What do you think is going on here, Leah?
So they're definitely, it's at the beginning of a relationship that they're creating, and I'm using small r relationship, not because Aviendha in this is like, yeah, I would bed you, but that's not what I'm trying to do, which I find very interesting. It's also just the forwardness of Aiel, yeah, I mean, there's just so much in there to unpack. Like, obviously something's happened. I'm wondering if this is a combination of a couple of scenes, maybe in the screenshot, or not the screenshot, in the tape, they were put back to back, but maybe they're separated, because it just seems like there's a lot in there.
Right.
So I want to ask this question. Anas, do you like the idea that Perrin and Aviendha, like, this is a connection between the two, that they're like, I guess, was this something in your mind that you ever thought was going to happen, that Aviendha and Perrin were going to meet?
Not really. I mean, I didn't really think those two characters really, even in the books, have that much of a interaction. So it comes out of left field. But I think Perrin meeting the Aiel would be interesting, because the Aiel, he would think, are they're warriors. His the fact that he had this, the violence he is now kind of averted to, and seeing them fight with honor and things like that, I think it'll be interesting what he takes from that. So I think that aspect of it would be interesting. But those two characters just seem kind of odd that they put them together like that.
Now, do you think this is the sword? You don't swing the sword badly. Do you think that was I don't know, just something somebody threw in a script, or do you think we're going to see Perrin use a sword?
No, I don't think so. I would be surprised if that happens. I think that is not what's going to be in the final script.
Okay, so Leah, do you think that maybe Perrin has jumped over or grabbed a sword because of the axe at this point? In other words, do you think that they would have that's just going to be something where it's like, yeah, he can't pick that up, but he can pick this other weapon up at this point?
Yeah, I think maybe it might just be a weapon of opportunity, maybe, if he does pick up a sword and isn't using an axe. He's not carrying anything around with him as of the end of season 2, so or season 1, excuse me. So he's actively trying not to fight. He's kind of following the way of the leaf. So it'll be interesting if this is Perrin, what's that transition where he actually does start using weapons again.
Now, I see Kikieri in chat, and Kikieri pointed this out, that and it's funny because Kikieri jumped in right at the perfect time to post this comment, which has to do with the fact that maybe the translation that Kikieri just said, did anyone mention that swing the sword might be a code for dance the spears? So, maybe this was them trying to be coy in the audition and not necessarily explain who these people are, what's happening. So
that's a great point.
Yeah. So Dance the Spears would make a lot more sense here, especially for the crowd here. So far, a minute in, this poll has over 100 votes, and 85% say no. So they think that that would be an interesting choice to actually have him do that. But the Dance of the Spears makes more sense. Is that Anas, do you like that translation better?
Yeah, I think that would make a little bit more sense. I just saw someone in chat say that even though it's reported that Perrin saying this, I mean, it could just be Rand saying those words, and it would fit for the most part, I would think. And Rand and Aviendha meet, and the sword would make sense at that point too. Yeah.
I do, and this I wasn't sure if. Does it feel, maybe once we get actually into the scene and see this,
right? There's the
like
thing about
exposition, if you will. I don't know. Did you feel that, like, Perrin's just like, this piece of the scene, like, where he's just like, I thought your people never left the waste, and wetlanders call it the waste. It's or do you think that's just kind of the natural part of, like, we've got to introduce it some way, and this is where they're going to do it? Like, Leah, does it feel out of place when you read it, or is it just?
No, it doesn't. It actually doesn't, because that does seem like something a dumbass Wetlander would say, and I feel like that is a very Aiel response. It's like, you guys call it that, but let me correct you.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like those words could almost be cut and paste from the books as the way
Yeah.
that they'll describe it. It's our
Mhm.
a testing ground to prove our worth and a punishment for our sin. So that is a core belief of the Aiel. They know that they've been sent to the waste to atone for a sin. And as we book readers know, it's coming from the pre-breaking. But most of the Aiel do not know that. They're like, we're just gonna take it.
Yep.
We've got toe.
I mean, and it is. I mean, I guess it's a good point. We can jump down to the second scene because I think we have some feeling of because I'm not sure like how these scenes came in, but it does say, when he says, "Where will you go now?" And then Avienda's like, "Where you go, Wetlander." So he saved her life. This, and maybe let's go to scene 2 and we can talk about what this is. Scene 2 says, Perrin, I killed her by accident. Our village was attacked. Aviendha said, did she die well? Did she choose to fight to protect her home, those she loved? Then trust she died well. Perrin said, Aviendha, I want you to beat me, what the other women did to you. And Aviendha says, no. And he says, you owe me toe. And Aviendha says, it's dishonorable to remind me. Remember that. And Perrin says, sorry, but please, I need it. Aviendha hits him. Did that help? No, because you're a Wetlander, not an Aiel. To be beaten isn't punishment, and you are dishonoring your wife by grieving her. Death comes for us all. We can only choose how to face it when it comes. Layla chose. She woke up from her dream, but you will not let her live. You want to stop grieving, then throw it away. Holds out a ring. You have your sister's knife. Aviendha said, this is a tool, not a keepsake to mourn. Focus on those who are with us still. So the idea being here that Aviendha does stay with Perrin like at this point, and that they do have this second interaction. Before we jump into kind of dissecting that, I think a lot of, and I can't remember if on WoTSeries they actually talked about the analysis here, and let's talk about that. And I want to see if you agree with this analysis. It appears that Perrin rescues Aviendha. As a result, Aviendha owes him a life debt, similar to how he meets Gaul in Book 3. In The Dragon Reborn. Aviendha will likely introduce Perrin and the audiences to the culture of the Aiel, and that she will help Perrin through his continued grieving process as he mourns the death of Layla from season 1. Leah, do you like that as an interpretation of what we're seeing here? Is basically that Aviendha is replacing Gaul in The Dragon Reborn in that particular type of scene?
I thought in addition to how Perrin meets Gaul, I kind of also interpreted it as how Aviendha meets Nynaeve and Elaine and Egwene when the three girls get off that riverboat as they're trying to head down to Tyr. And so I think it might be a combination of those two introductions of those characters. So being in Chia, we might still have Gaul. I still have faith.
So I want to ask you that, Anas, Gaul being possibly or likely replaced in this particular type of scene, not necessarily not in the show, but in this scene, do you like this as a way to introduce Aviendha's character? And do you think that would be a smart thing to do to pull Aviendha in this early this way and involve Aviendha with the main crew?
Right. I mean, I think there's still ways to involve Gaul later, but the fact that there is mention of the life debt, that is pretty serious. So I mean, that's something that would be there for the rest of the show. That Aviendha has this bond with Perrin. So that would be interesting. How because as we know the story, Perrin does a lot of things away from kind of the main things that are happening. So how that happens and how Aviendha is not with Rand later and things like that would be harder to explain, and that would mean that she might not do some of the things and not be with Elaine and things like that later on. So it'd be interesting how they resolve that. I do like that introducing the Aiel, and it's the fact that they mention that line about beating, that there is something that Aviendha does, and they show the maidens how they meet their toe. I think that fits in well. if there was like a fight or something.
Yes, and you've just brought up a concept out there that maybe a lot of fans are not as familiar with. And Leah, life debt. Can you explain what that is? Because, yeah, that would be a significant change from the books, and it would change Perrin's relationship with Gaul that we are used to from the books, and that whether or not Gaul's in the show, it is now it will forever kind of change that, I guess, trajectory of that relationship.
Yeah, and life debt is something that the Aiel don't take lightly. So in the books, Gaul has this life debt to Perrin because Perrin rescues him from a pretty embarrassing situation for an Aiel, getting captured by wetlanders, just not even knowing that they're there. I believe Gaul even makes a joke like, yeah, this wetland has already made me soft. So, and it sounds like Aviendha here, Perrin does something to rescue her. So having this lifelong tow to somebody just because they saved you.
Yeah,
and that makes sense to you, wetlanders.
Well, obviously they're doing it for a reason, right? And so that makes us ask the question of like, what is the plan for this life debt between Aviendha and Perrin? Like, where are they taking this? Because obviously taking it somewhere. But maybe that's a harder question to ask. I will. People are like, more polls. So let me throw a poll in here to everybody. Maybe Anas, do you have a theory on like why give the life debt to Aviendha? And maybe we should. I'll preface this for anyone that's watching this right now. Let's throw up this. Beyond, we just talked about a couple things, but that was early in the books. This could go to the end of the books. We might talk about character arcs. So if you're here and you haven't finished the books, right now is probably a good time to step away. We will jump back and forth on news and things. So if you see that banner come down, that's a good time to jump back into the episode. But yeah, Anas, any thoughts on, okay, make this change, introduce Aviendha, but you're also giving this life debt to Aviendha and Perrin. Why?
Right. I mean, there's one that initially came to me, and it's not good. I don't want it to happen, but I mean, is anyone out there shipping like Perienda? Like is that going to happen? No, it shouldn't. She even alludes to that's not the relationship. I wonder if they change the life debt to maybe be like Guy Shine, and it's only a year, although that'd be a change in how that's interpreted, and that might be a little bit easier, that there is an end to it and it's not forever, and that might be one way that it might be resolved. That it's a certain period of time, and after that, they don't have to be together or always looking out for each other and things like that. I think that might be one way of explaining it. Although again, it changes the culture a fair bit.
Yeah, Leah, what do you think? Do you think they'll end up changing this concept because maybe creating this life debt is not what they're intending here, or do you think that there actually is a reason and they're kind of marching towards it with this change?
I'm hoping that there's a reason. I'm very attached to the Aiel, obviously. And I think if they changed it, I'm sure that the showrunners would have a reason for it. But I actually think that this might be a tool in giving Aviendha conflict when she gets called back to the wise ones. Besides, I just don't want to go. I'm a maiden. Like, I don't want to be a wise one. So maybe this is a way, like similar to having Perrin be married at the beginning of it, and giving a physical way to show some of the things that you read in the books and would just be hard to capture via dialogue. So having this life debt to Perrin, and then having to go be a wise one's apprentice, and having this lifelong tow that she feels that she owes to Perrin, being that source of conflict for her. Yeah. Hopefully.
Mayhem Markham said, "Don't see it. Avi can repay the debt by saving Perrin's life this season. Leaving it too long will lessen the impact." And do you think and that could be a likelihood that there's some kind of and how does that work? For the Aiel, is it as simple as that when it comes to some connection like this?
Nothing is simple with the Aiel.
but is that good enough to kind of maybe change the the connection, if you will, here, and that it doesn't persist moving forward if, for example, they put Avi in the position of saving Perrin's life?
Again, Giotto is very complicated, so I think there would just be a whole bunch of circumstances. And Aviendha is also very proud for Nail. It's brought up multiple times in the book, so if they persist with that much of her character, it's possible that even if she did save his life, she would still interpret that she still had this lifelong toe to him.
Okay. By the way, Beth said maybe Perrin will do something to pay Aviendha back during the last battle outside of Sheol. They were both there, so to speak. Okay, so yeah, I mean, obviously there's it makes sense. There's a reason here, other than just introducing this methodology, because in this scene too, I say methodology. We need Perrin to have some framework to move through his pain and not be completely stopped by it, if you will. And it does seem like from this scene too that Aviendha here and the Aiel are providing for him a way to conceive of what's happened. Do you think that I mean, couldn't Gaul have played the same role though? I guess, if Perrin had saved Gaul, couldn't he have done the same for him?
Oh, absolutely.
So it's not just a singular kind of, she's providing this way or methodology, because it could have been taken. So yeah, I still kind of makes me wonder. I was like, yeah, that's a good reason, but Gaul could have been that person too. So yeah, I am curious.
The maidens do have a very particular relationship with each other that I don't feel like some of the other warrior societies have. So they do hold each other to a higher standard. You do see this behavior with the maidens where they really hold each other to account. And so I wonder if that is just also pulling more of that Aiel culture, that elusive Aiel culture, into the show a little bit. With this, he's obviously witnessed her being beaten by her spear sisters, for probably doing something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, he thought that was, I mean, right, his interpretation of this is is he trying to say here, he's like, I want you to beat me. What is Perrin messing up as a wetlander here? He's saying, I want you to beat me what the other women did to you. And he's like, you owe me this opportunity to beat me. Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Maybe you can explain Giotto. Is there a good way for a wetlander to understand Giotto?
No.
There's not a good way.
Yeah. Aviendha tells Rand in the books multiple times, like, you bullhead, how do you not yet understand? It is a very complicated system, but the genesis of it is Aiel like to live this honorable life. So if you do something that violates that basic honor, you have this obligation either to someone or to a group of people. Like, and again, that's where it gets complicated, because it's not necessarily, it could just be a nebulous. Like, you have told to yourself potentially for doing things, but it's also painful to get reminded of that, which is here where she says, it's dishonorable to remind me. Like, you're just expected to have this integrity to meet your toe one way or another, whether you owe it to someone, yourself, or a group of people. It's expected that you will meet that obligation to clear your toe.
And gotcha. People were bringing this up in chat. I saw Master Deck said the Aiel called it a blood debt. Yeah. I mean, we were just calling it life. That was from the analysis in the WoTSeries using life debt, blood debt. Thank you, Master the Deck, there, for clarifying that in chat. Yeah, he said here, you have your sister's knife. And Aviendha says, that is a tool, not a keepsake to mourn. Focus on those who are with us still. So it's clear that there have other interactions, right, that we're just not seeing here.
Yeah, that's a little bit of what reminded me of the scene with Nynaeve and Egwene, because in Elaine, after they get off that riverboat, Nynaeve heals one of Aviendha's spear sisters, who in a couple chapters later gets killed trying to rescue the power ladies.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so and I would assume from that they would probably collect all the weapons and do whatever Aiel funeral ceremony for the dead.
Now, the sister's knife, is there a connection? Is there any other connection about the sister's knife? Is that something that you think they pulled from? Where in the books is that particular? In other words, are they piecing that together? Because I'm trying to think of Aviendha and mentioning a sister and having a knife. That doesn't.
No, she doesn't have. She's got a first sister who's a Gaishain in the books. In Elaine eventually becomes her other first sister, but she doesn't really have anybody else that she considers that close.
I think probably just
regular
sister.
spear sisters.
Yeah. And maybe that's what he's saying. You have your sister's knife. Maybe that's what he's his wetlander. I'm reading it like a wetlander, and it's like, and maybe it is a spear sister there. I like it. Yeah, Lisa just said that in chat. So, I want to end this poll here. About 160 of you voted. Do you like this change, Aviendha and Perrin, or bring Gall and Perrin back? 82% say bring Gall and Perrin back. It's really right. These are like, this is exactly what happened when we built up to season 1 in our discussions. Was there? I'm trying to think if there. Anas, do you remember any change where people were like, "Yes, I can't wait for this change over what was in the book"? I'm trying to remember like if we ever had anything where we're
I think the Logain backstory. I mean, at least having more Logain. Although I don't know, I still feel there wasn't enough Logain, but I think that was one where I was like, yes, definitely want to see that.
Well, I have someone. I just see there's a call coming in. I wonder if they have an opinion that they want to share with us. Let me bring our caller to the Dusty Wheel. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hi, it's Bane and Chiad.
Bane and Chiad.
Hey.
Bane and Chiad is here. So I'm assuming Bane. I'm assuming you have an opinion about this.
I do, but I wanted to make sure you heard who else is with me at this point. Do you hear her?
It's Lesbian Nerdy.
Lesbian Nerdy. Wait, Lesbian Nerdy is with you? So, this is just a fun visit. Is that what's happening?
I'm a floating head just beside her on the sofa.
Oh, in a sweat tent?
In a sweat tent. That's nice. Okay.
That's right.
So now you've both heard the news. You've heard our discussion so far. You heard me give Anas an honorable mod mention. You've heard all the stuff today. So what is your thought on Gall maybe being replaced, at least in this scene, with Perrin, and Perrin having this connection now to Aviendha that is different from the books?
Listen, I am going to invoke the not dead until we see the body theory here. I don't give up on Gall until we get halfway through the last season. If we don't see him by then there's no Gall. Otherwise, everybody needs to take a deep breath and just enjoy the ride.
Yeah. And people were saying Elias was cut. We know Elias is going to be in the show. People were saying Elaine was cut. We know Elaine's going to be in the show. Like, people are jumping to all sorts of conclusions.
That never happens. But okay, but hold on. There's an issue here, though. This does change the connection. Potentially, I guess it doesn't have to. They can connect Gall and Perrin in some other way. But this does take away this initial, bloodhead, if you will. So what do you think about that, Bane and Chiad, when it comes to that relationship maybe changing between Gall and Perrin?
I mean, I don't think that it needs to change just based on the way that they meet. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, I love Perrin freeing Gall from the cage, and they dance. If you want to dance the spears, Perrin Ibera, that's a wonderful scene. But I think they could still have a relationship later on in a different way. Just because Aviendha meets Perrin first doesn't mean Perrin can't meet more Aiel. One thing I thought of was also maybe if Perrin's meeting Aviendha, what if Rand meets Gaul, and then they meet up, all four of them, at some point and kind of swap friends.
Like a
Oh,
friend.
so-
Sorry.
No, yeah.
So like dragon dog? What's the
Dragon
stone,
dog?
stone dragon? Okay.
I like this, Leah.
No,
What do you
I mean-
think?
They're like
Yeah,
trainers, right? They swap.
I was going to say this is much fodder for the shipping community.
Yeah, this is it does, I guess, free them up to do something else with that relationship potentially. Jenny, I'm curious, do you have a theory about what their plans are here? Why put Aviendha here and what they're hoping to accomplish?
I do have a theory. Now, this is just a theory I lived out of, like 10, 15 minutes ago?
Yes.
Because we're saying that this is Aviendha based on this script. The script did not say Aviendha. I'm going to bet $100. It didn't say Aviendha. I'm going to bet $100 it said an A name that sounded somewhat feminine. What if they're gender swapping Gaul? What if it's just another, it's a maiden of the spear instead of a stone dog?
Okay.
I like that. That's interesting.
So it's not Avi. Okay.
Not Aviendha.
And
Jenny, I'm not going to say I don't know that I like this theory, but I'm going to ask everybody listening to us. Do you? And so maybe that's a good point, because I guess, and this what you're bringing up is kind of what WoTSeries was mentioning, was that the actual names that are typically in the script are not the ones, they're not the names that they call from the books, right? And so I'm trying to remember if they told us here in their analysis. Did they tell us I'm going back and looking here, substituted code names with the Wheel of Time names and terms we believe they represent in brackets. So I don't think they included what the code name was for the A name, if you will, and why they thought it was Aviendha. Do we have any WoTSeries in chat that want to tell us what those code names were? Maybe they won't. Maybe that's still information WoTSeries is holding back, understandably. So that's an interesting question. So do you think this is Aviendha? And let me ask everybody: do you think this is Aviendha or another Maid in the Spear?
Or I wonder if it's one of Bane, and maybe it's two people, and maybe it's Bane and Chiad.
And before I ask you here, I will say yes. Thank you very much. Geekieri is in chat, and Geekieri said Jenny is right. It was a name starting with A. So, and the reason why we think Aviendha is, I think there was a name starting with P, and that was for Perrin. And basically it was like the first letter is the name, the first letter of the character from the books. So. Knowing that, watching right now, people in chat that are actually voting on this poll, do you think this is Aviendha or another Maid in the Spear? I almost put yes and no. That was going to be bad, and I will not do that. You don't get that type of poll yet, everybody. But the night's still young. That could still happen. I'd be surprised.
Literally 15 minutes ago, I have not thought it through entirely, but. It's a nascent theory in my head.
And I know that everyone wanted a third option, none of the above. No. Just pick one of the two. I give too many third and fourth options for people that don't want to choose. Just don't participate in the poll if you don't like the two options. Okay. So we have this information. Did anyone have this on their bingo card? That Aviendha was going to, or another Maid in the Spear was that Perrin was going to rescue a Maid in the Spear instead of maybe Gaul. I'm seeing lots of shading. Nanas, you weren't there. Bane and Chiad, did you even imagine this as a possibility?
No, I mean, I thought Perrin was going to hook up with Elias early on, and Elias was going to be the one to help him through his grief and his self-blame and all of that. So I was really surprised to see Aviendha taking on that role. I don't hate it, though. I think it's quite interesting to blend the Aiel perspective on death with what happened with Perrin. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see how Elias fits in with this.
Yeah, and this is going to be a question we're going to continue asking now for the next year until the show comes out, or we get more information, which is how does this fall in line with what they're plotting for season 2? But I want to say that they did give us a hint. Rafe did give us a hint, everybody. You know, all I'm saying is
So mean with
No,
me.
no, no,
he
no.
gave us a hint. He gave us a hint. Look, he gave us a cage, and he gave us what looks like it looks like could be gall. Is all I'm saying. Like this could be gall, right? He might have just been saying like, look, this is happening, and you just have to deal with it. I like how you're like, no, and us, no, you weren't. You're not there yet, huh? Okay, I got it.
Even though he was found with the stone dog, no.
No, you're still not going there. Like this was not. No one here believes this was just like a straight up like, hey fans, something's changed. No one's gonna go there, huh? Okay. And when you obviously, I don't know if Bane and Chiad and Jenny, if maybe now you're seeing the image, so you know what I'm showing on the screen, but it is the image from episode 3 of season 1, where
Yeah,
okay.
we are just angry at you.
I see. So Mash of the Deck is pointing out. Okay. Before everyone gets too upset, or Mash of the Deck is pointing out. Rafe said it's not gall in the Reddit. I want to go. I need to. Can someone get me the exact quote on that? Just for purposes of just double verifying that. So, yes, that I'm kind of remembering that, but I would like a double verification. I'm just wow. I don't think I'm being that mean about this. No, when I think about this change, I like the idea of getting Aviendha into the main story with everyone here. Now, I know obviously we get Aviendha in Dragon Reborn, and like I don't we? If I'm like totally like misremembering that, Aviendha's in Dragon Reborn, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's where
like
she
they meet up with the girls, right? I was like,
Yeah. Yes.
So we do, but this suggests that we're getting Aviendha pulled into because maybe they can't do Tyr. So, Anas, do you believe that they won't do Tyr in season 2, and that they're kind of merging some of the things that went Tyr back into maybe taking us to Falma, because we know we're going to Falma?
Yeah.
Do you think that's what's happening here? We're getting that piece where it's like, well, we're not doing Tyr, but we want Aviendha in the story.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that the maidens save the Supergirls in the Dragon Reborn, they can put that with Aviendha and maidens with Elena and Nynaeve rescuing Egwene at Falma. They could do it like that and have a battle with the Sanchin, and they free Egwene. I think they can, kind of merge those two stories. And I am torn between Tyr. I mean, I want Kalendor to be there. I just don't want things to be rushed. So unless they do all of Falm in the first half of the season, and then there's a clear, shift, or there's like it's all a red herring, and we have two, we see two arcs, but everyone ends up at Falm except Rand, and Rand ends up at Tyr with maybe some of the characters, and then the something with the battle in the sky happens, and everyone sees Rand there and Falm, but he's actually in Tyr fighting the Shamal. That's one way it could happen, but it would be a lot to fit in.
Yeah. And I want to kind of go around the room before we let Jenny and Bane and Chiad go here, but I want to show Mash of the Deck. Thank you very much. This was a question in the AMA. As his presence is important to parents' balance later in the series, tell me that was not gall in the cage. Announced here. Sorry, Amazon spoiler team. It was not gall. There you go, everybody.
Great research.
Now, I will say, though, it still is something where I would, and this still does feel like maybe there was a little bit of like, hey, we're not going the route you think we are with this scene. So I'm going to go with my speculation that there's a little bit of something here. But Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
kind of what I assumed when I saw that scene in the first season, is that they were going to take out that meeting of Gaul. So if you already have an Aiel in a cage, it'd be redundant to do it again.
Yeah.
So, and I just assumed that there was going to be something different about the Gaul Perrin meetup later on. But already having an Aiel in a cage just changes that storyline a little bit.
Yeah, and I still believe that, even though it's not Gaul per se. So Mr. James is right. The Dusty Wheel, never let the facts get in the way of a good theory. That's right. Look, that's a little bit, that is too close to home there. It's a little bit too close, but I do feel that. You just need to add, never let the facts get in the way of a good theory about Lanfear. That's where it really hits home there. Hey, Bane and Chad, Jenny, thank you very much for calling in. Any final thoughts from either of you?
I say don't count your chickens before they're hatched, or some Aiel equivalent of that proverb. There's a lot of things that the show surprised me about. Like, I was sure that Dana was going to be Dina, and then Dana turned out to just be Dana. And that was,
Yeah. That's I think that's a good reminder here. We don't exactly know. Gaul could be in season 2, still, and there still could be some connection there with Perrin. But yeah, no, that's a good point. Bane and Chad, anything from you before I let you go?
No, I just want to say that even though stone dogs are really stupid, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to not have Gaul, or that Gaul was in the cage. And I think we need to give them a break. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think we need to be nice to them.
You have gone soft.
Wow, I am going to note this for the record. Bane and Chad were nice to Gaul for once.
That's
almost a compliment.
That was almost a compliment. I hope to see a recording of that in your next show. Is all I'm saying. So
Rob's in chat. So Rob,
you gotta be grabbing that afterwards. So hey, thank you both for calling in. It's awesome to hear from you, and WotCon coming up. Can't wait. So we'll talk to you both soon.
WotCon.
yes.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Well, that was fun. That was fun to crash that. Let me maybe throw up some comments here. The Aiel are cool. This is from Deadsy. Therefore, they're bringing them into the story earlier. Same thing they did with the Aes Sedai, although I'm not sure cool is the right word. Yes. This comment, why would they show the stone in season 1 then? Good point on Tyr and why they showed Tyr. I mean, I would say, yes, that could be a double purpose. Obviously, they were showing where Swan was from. But yes, could that also have been like, and hint, hint, we're coming back here? For sure. I'm not disagreeing with that. So, and there was one other comment here I thought, and I'm kind of going back to see if I can find it. And if I don't see it there. So I apologize if I missed another comment that someone left. Okay, cool. We're going to come back. We can come back to these. I want to jump into a little bit of news here. Also, I want to look at an image that we never ever unblurred, and see if anyone else had any ideas from this. I think it came from, I want to say, the season 2 wrap video, if I remember correctly. But I want to see if we can zoom in and see anything there, or we just never figured out what it said. So I was kind of curious. But before I do that, I want to kind of announce what's coming up here at the Dusty Wheel. Next, I know you're going to be surprised. I'm actually giving you some heads up on what's coming up. So next Wednesday, nice look there. So I know, I understand. I get that. Look, I just moved. I just moved, so it's going to take me a little bit to get back in the swing of this. But we do have some long time, or they've come back at least 5 times, and this will be the 6th time at the very least that we will have had them here at the Dusty Wheel. Yes, the Wheel Weaves podcast is back to talk about Lord of Chaos. Nice. We're going to have a spoiler-free, if you've read the books up to Lord of Chaos, you can enjoy this episode without anything spoiled. We won't spoil anything after it. We're going to find out from Danny and Brett how Lord of Chaos went. They're already, I think, well into A Crown of Swords at this point. So we missed this earlier on. I can't wait to have them back here, and it'll be next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So Lord of Chaos is, it's been too long. Anas, do you like when we do those kind of spoiler-free episodes? Do you enjoy them even though you know the books?
Oh, for sure. I mean, and Lord of Chaos was like my favorite book for a long time, until I like reread the series. So there are so many great things that happen in that book, and I look forward to that. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to end this poll. We left this one up too long. I know everybody. Do you think this is Aviendha or another Maid in the Spear? 60% said Aviendha. Wow. I can't believe Jenny got 40% of you on that train. That's a crazy train right there. That theory has no chance. I like this. We can talk about that, Jenny, sometime if you're still listening. So I like this comment here from Beth. Thank you very much for the tip. Said the Dusty Wheel, have you said stabby stab yet tonight? If not, could you? Yes, I love talking about the Aiel, and it is definitely a stabby stab kind of night. So thank you very much, Beth. And I'm going to give one more kind of update. After next Wednesday, the next Wednesday after that, we're actually bringing back another guest returning for the second time. And I hope you liked this one. Last time we did it, we're actually going to be doing some live gaming, actual gaming on the computer. The rebirth of the Wheel of Time PC game. That's right. Designer Glenn Dahlgren is going to be back. He's also an author, published author. We're going to be doing some live gaming with the old school PC game. And if you don't know, you can go to GOG.com and you can go buy it for like $8 or $9 and play it. They brought it back. And we're going to do some multiplayer on this live for you all and talk about play and then talk about kind of what he's been up to and what his thoughts were on the TV show. And, obviously big Wheel of Time fan and was instrumental in this game that came out. So that will be 2 Wednesdays from now. We will be doing that, which will be a lot of fun. I know you're all saying, what about that show that you promised about Elaine? You mean this one? This show? Yeah. Look, I know it kept getting moved. That just happens. Every once in a while, there's just like these. And honestly, this cast spotlight that we did, it's been moved a couple times because these are actually very intense shows to prepare for. This is hours and hours of looking for and watching clips and preparing to do a deep dive. And honestly, it's been busy around here. So we haven't had time to do any deep dives. So look, that's just the case. We can do news shows all day long, but deep dives, that show will come in July. I promise. We won't push it past July. And I'll announce our final show before we move on to Unblurring and Wheel of Game Time. This is the final one. And actually on July 6th, this one's gonna be a lot of fun. I've not had this person on the show. It will be a new guest, but I have been on his channel. I don't know if you've ever met. It's another Matt, Nerd of the Rings. They just had I think they hit 600,000 subscribers. Matt is killing it. He is like a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, and he's done so many videos, and they're so in depth, and people love his stuff. I want to know what he's feeling about the adaptation that Amazon is doing. We just went through this. Now fans of Lord of the Rings are going through this. So also, though, Christy Lucier will be coming back. If you don't know Christy, she is one part of Team Moraine. She's a huge Wheel of Time fan and a professional screenwriter. She's very skilled in this particular thing that we're talking about. And Christy will be with us too. So Christy and Nerd of the Rings will be showing up, and we'll be talking about Amazon adaptations, The Wheel of Time and Rings of Power. So that will be on July 6th. That one's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to dig into, Matt's excitement and fans' excitement, and also trepidation. And I think we've all been through this process of an adaptation at this point. and what this feels like when something you love is being adapted to the screen. So I love it. That's gonna be a blast. So, okay. That was just like a quick, like I feel like I just gave up. I normally do like a whole episode and make everybody wait, but there you go. The next 4 episodes that'll be coming out, and we'll definitely get the Theoryland gang back. Mary, Natalia, will definitely be back here, and Todd, and we'll be breaking down probably the show again. So yeah, fun times. Okay, so have about a half an hour left. I want to show this image and remind you guys, like, I feel kind of like a slacker because we haven't unblurred this. But then I also feel like you all are slackers because you didn't unblur this yet. So do you all remember this image?
Yes.
Leah? What does it say on that? What does it say? Like, I want to know what this says over here on the. I don't know why this bothers me. It's just because it's blurred and I want to know, like,
Chaos.
were there any? Did any of us?
Opens.
What did you think it says? Opens.
Open.
Like, what were our best guesses? Open is one I heard. What did you? I think Anas, you just said something.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Like an S at the end, but maybe that's an O to start with.
Yeah, like open chaos. Like, I feel like we should have known what this is already. Like I said, I feel a little bit. I'm gonna now, while everyone's kind of talking about this, I will, like, on my computer, attempt to do a little bit of unblurring and show you what I can come up with. No, this is like true. I didn't unblur this yet.
It says gall. Okay, yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cruise. Rob Christensen just said it says cruise. That's not a bad guess, actually. Catering. Okay, now everybody's gear. I like that. It's funny. It cruised, as you kind of like step back from it a little bit. That does seem like it could say cruise. That's. So for me to do this officially, I need you guys to kind of roll with this, like, unblurring, and try to figure this out here. So let me see if I can do a little bit of. I know. See, I haven't tried doing a live unblurring before, so this is going to be hard.
Chairs. Chat says chairs out. Orgy.
Yeah. That's totally what it says.
Yes.
Okay, so let me see if I can get. Oh, that's an interesting. I kind of got a little more clear there. Hold on.
Did anyone say Oreos?
Yeah,
Oreos?
Yeah.
There, I'll hold it.
Okay, like.
Ogier? Ogier is a guess from chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ohio. Why?
Because they're coming to walk on, or someone's coming to walk on.
Oh, that definitely was not. Okay. I'm like, this is really hard to do live. Okay.
Chris
So let
is
me.
a guess. Crows is a guess.
Chilies. I like chips. That's really good. Okay. So here's another version of it. I'll post another version of it for you.
Miss Sarah James just said Omar because he's on the crew.
Okay, here we go. I know you had to wait for this. And I don't know that this is going to give you any better of a view of what this could be, but I haven't tried it live on blurring before, and
Sounds dreadful.
So this isn't as easy as it sounds, because the last time I took part in unblurring stuff, it was a lot more. There's a lot more time spent. Okay, here we go. Tell me if this has helped anybody. It probably hasn't. This looks about the same. Let me see this other one. It's not exactly the same here. So does this help at all?
Oh.
This is what you had before. I mean, like, this is like an eye doctor. One.
I mean, it's
two.
It's darker.
Like,
One.
It's like O
two.
Apostrophe COS is what I see. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Christensen had an interesting point. He said that it's probably a Czech word. So we might not even know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a Czech word. That would be hilarious.
Like a Czech word for like tea or coffee or something.
I love it. I love it. Yes, that would be hilarious if it was a check word, and we're just sitting here like that doesn't make any sense at all. Lesbian Nerdy just said, it says Matt Hatch was very dismissive about Lesbian Nerdy's recent theory regarding the unknown IEO character and should probably examine it further.
That's exactly what it says, but in check.
Put in check. I like it. So, okay. So I get this feeling like we might not be able to accomplish this today. This is like I said, this is like, oh, I don't know that doesn't really help. Okay. I'm over here. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. Yeah, I know. This is.
Just love how sassy chat being about it right now.
Are they being really sassy?
They're being hilarious.
Like I can't even
Probably a reminder to pick up dry cleaning.
That's totally what it is.
Havara says it looks like an old tongue choss, CHOSS. Sure what that means.
So yeah, I don't think this one's gonna be any better here. So well, maybe a little bit. So yes, Beth, great question. Let me mention this. Call lines are open. Let's do some Wheel of Game time. Feel free to give a call if you'd like us to 1-313-825-5968. That's 1-313-825-5968. You can give us a call, and I'll put you in here while we move to Wheel of Game time, because I don't think this is going to help us. It does actually look. The more I do this, and this is what happens. Actually, I've discovered this. The more you do this, the more you kind of like. You can get the completely different words, if you will, out of what it actually is just by the software manipulating the look of it. Mm-hmm. So let me throw this one. This is the last one. I wonder if it is like a check word. That's kind of like my theory. This is the last one. It almost feels like it.
It's the Wi-Fi password. Probably that's
like I could believe that it is some check word. So.
Yeah, interesting.
There you go.
Rajesh, it's an eye exam for the eyeless.
We need someone that speaks Czech. Like, does this look like anything? I love it. So if that is as close as I get, I expect you guys to unblur this thing. Come on. I want to know what's on this. I want to know what's on this piece of paper. Okay. Well, that being, you all failed. You all failed the test. You did not unblur it in the last 10 minutes.
This is what we call having toe.
That's
wow. Right. I like it. You all have toe. I like it.
Cat, you all have toe.
So I expect someone to figure this out here before the next show. So, okay. Before we take our caller here, I do want to ask you in chat. We haven't been enough polls today. What does this say? What were the best options? Can you two give me the best options here? Open was one of the ones. There
was Oreo was a fun one.
Oreo. I like it. Orcs.
Orcs, yeah, definitely. Yep.
Definitely is orcs. Or is it like something check?
Something check, yeah.
Okay. Something check. Is check a CZECH? Is that how you would say
mm-hmm.
check?
Yep.
Okay. What does it say? Open, Oreo, orcs, or something check. There you go, everybody. You
reminder to get Alana Persimmons.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're gonna do our first question here on the Wheel of Game Time. If you remember how this works, or if you don't, I guess I will remind you. What's funny is I'm like, can I even see what number this is? Now I can see it. So I'm going to spin the Wheel of Game Time. We have a number of topics. You in chat helped us come up with these topics. So I will pick a topic from the spin. Taylor isn't here to spin with us, so I will just do it here. And then once we discuss what the question is, we will. Oh, this one's 21. Okay. So must-have trailer topics. Must-have trailer topics. We have a season 2 trailer that's eventually going to hit. We talked about this with season 1, so I want to hear your must-have. Those of you in chat, what are your must-have first season 2 trailer drop, or I guess what do they call that first the teaser trailer? So
Yeah.
what has to be in a season 2 teaser trailer? Anas, give us your what's coming to mind.
I mean, I want to see the lightsaber. No, I think. I mean, I don't think this will be there, but what I want to see is a flash of a twisted redstone doorway, and
Ooh,
that would
like
be just that. And I think that would blow
that's
our
all you
minds.
need, right?
that would blow our minds. I mean, at least me. Yeah.
Like, okay, Leah, what do you think? What's your must-have teaser trailer in the first?
I need Matt. I need to see
Oh,
Matt.
yes. Oh,
Matt.
yep.
Okay. I'm trying to think of, was Matt in the first teaser trailer? I can't remember. I'm trying to
The
think if he was.
original for
Yeah.
season 1, yes.
For season
I
1,
believe he
was
was.
Yeah, but we also got Matt hold, like a Matt still, I think, before that.
Did we? Okay.
Or like, yeah, something like that, I thought.
New characters, Library Addict. I like that idea. I like some of these answers here.
I
kind
have a
of
good
go
one.
down.
Maybe a silhouette of someone wearing white and just black hair.
Ooh, do you want to see Matt with a like a staff in his hand? You know,
Yeah.
Oh,
just
oh,
like a back shot where there's just a hand. Maybe they don't even know it's just a hand, and then you see a kind of a blurred shot in front of him with 2 people with swords.
Two
or
people,
something like that. Yeah.
Although I couldn't wait for that and like be surprised that they kept it.
Ooh, Elias and Wolves. Is that?
Oh yeah. Oh
that's
yeah.
a good one.
I can't wait to see how they do up him in costume and. Ooh, I'm so excited. I'm so
Egwene in Pool 2.0 being in Giat.
I like this Lanfear. Yes. Duh.
excited.
I'm okay. Actually, I'm okay. I know this might surprise you. I'm okay if Lanfear is not in the teaser trailer. A second trailer, I'd like, or maybe kind of allude to Lanfear being in something. So maybe someone, again, I would rather like a subtle kind of hint, whether or not it's a belt or it's just like the hem of a dress or something,
Yeah.
That would be, I think that'd be a good kind of,
Yeah.
this one's a question. I kind of wonder, the Sean Chan.
Yes, that's my second one. Is I want to see more of them. We got that little
Interesting.
little
Okay.
teaser taste, and just like the costumes are so great, and
Yeah.
we all love to hate the Sean Chan, but like it just seems like they're doing such a good job already with them.
By the
So
way, the poll, something check won 75%. Okay, I like it. Now I'm going to bring our guest in, hear what they have to say, and keep them on for the second spin of the wheel here. Let me welcome our next guest into the show. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
It's Beth.
Beth, how you doing?
Hello.
Okay,
I'm great.
so
How are you?
fantastic. Beth, what do you think for the answer for this question? Must have season 2 teaser trailer topics.
Well, I put in chat that I need to have a better explanation of the sexy wheel in the desert.
Okay.
that was in the
The sexy wheel.
season 2
Okay.
wrap, Nelly. I mean, the sexy dusty wheel.
The sexy dusty wheel. Yeah, exactly. Right.
I'm not sure what that's going to be exactly.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I would actually love to see more about the Sean Chan. Listening to Anas and Leia, I think more about the Sean Chan would be fantastic.
Okay, so
Or Lanfear.
Or Lanfear. Okay. Well, you're here for number 2, so we'll see how this worked out, because when I did this with the other one, I would always get the same number. So here we go. A second spin on this wheel. Let's see what we got. Okay, there we go. Okay, 17. Nice. Let's clear that off. Okay, 17. Let me go there. Okay, Elaine in a bath. Yay or yay? Is that so? Beth, you can go first here. Elaine in a bath. Yay or yay?
Well, ironically, I just read the scene.
Did you really just read another? I mean, not that. That's not that
I
ironic.
did literally just now in today while I was working. I'm currently in my re-listen of Crossroads of Twilight,
and Elaine and Aviendha happen to be in a bath today after she gets back from visiting her estate, different estates in Andor to try to rally support to get the crown back. Elaine, yay. Not yay,
Okay.
but yay.
Now, Noman Garden is saying
I think it's good
too
backstory.
early. Okay, so you like to kind of create that backstory about her already. Okay.
The more I listen or read, because I do audiobook it, every time I listen more, I think that the quote unquote non-essential stories we get are really relevant to what we're hearing. It's not as much of a slog. Like every time I listen more, the slog gets a little bit less of a beat down on me because I pick up more of the nuances that are in there that I didn't hear the time before. So it's just more of a character building experience between the sister intimacy between Elaine and Aviendha and her relationship with Brigitte because she's pregnant, and the special circumstances with her bond with another woman. I think it's really special, and it's a great insight into the way that it's just different, and it's the beginning of a new age before the fourth age begins. And I think it's kind of brilliant the more I listen to it. So
okay.
I really appreciate it.
I like it. You're like, yay. How about you, Leah? Are you where are you at on this question? Like, are you hopeful that they don't kind of lean into that, or do you want to see them kind of lean into this thing that was very
I would love to lean into it, and I almost want Elaine, like that's her opening scene as she's in the bath.
Is it opening scene in the bath?
All up in the towel.
I hear that.
But yeah, Beth, I very much agree with what you said though, is the more you read it, the more you see those the intricacies. And I have two sisters, so growing up we just spent a lot of time in the bathroom spaces together, like doing our hair and makeup and just crimping and getting ready. So it's the way that I've experienced sisterhood, it's very much of a ritual. So, and even with friends, I've roomed with Shelly, Wise One Shelly at JordanCon, and one of my favorite memories from JordanCon was just getting ready together in the bathroom. So
I can see, it's funny because like I can totally see that, but I did not connect that. So that's it. I had never thought about the Elaine bath scenes that way, but it absolutely makes sense.
So back in the 90s, I was in the military and we had open shower bays. There was no privacy. So, and I know Leia probably can relate to that somewhat. Mm-hmm. So bathing and the sweat tent thing too, right? Like the whole issue with how I'm in the Shinarans, not thinking that bathing is an intimate thing, and the Aiel not thinking bathing is an intimate thing. I think it's great that our world, U.S. representation or first world representation of what's normal can be expanded a little bit by this book. And I just really think that it's great. And I hope they introduced that. They did a little bit in the Tarvalon scene when Moraine was in the bathhouse, and they had women of all sizes, and they didn't sexualize nudity. And I thought that was great. And I hope that they could do that again in future forms with just making it normalizing it. Like it's not all about boobs and butts, right? I hate to say that way, but
Robert Jordan might have disagreed.
I was just going to say that.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But
I'm just saying. But
I would love that they normalize like a female's body. It's not all about sexy times all the time. And I know other people probably want to talk, but I just want to say, Leia, you look amazing. I love you, my little sister, and Mamas, I love your new haircut. And and Matt, it looks the same except for the TVW in the background. So
I know the TVW.
I'm glad you made it to your new house. I'm glad you made it there, and that's exciting. So,
well, thank you so much for calling
having
in.
Me on your show.
Absolutely. It's awesome hearing from you, and appreciate you being around for some Wheel of Game Time. And we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you back in chat.
see you in
See ya.
2.5 weeks at
Yeah.
WotCon.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's that close. Hey, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Yep. Bye.
Oh, sorry if I cut you off there, Beth, just a little bit too soon. Anas, before we move on, what was your call on this? Like, no thanks, yay, or yay?
I mean, they've already leaned into that, so we're getting it. Yay.
Okay. You're like, I feel like this is a foregone conclusion. I like it. Okay. Ooh, 16. That almost, I was like, ooh, we almost got the same one here. Okay. So this one goes back to the Shanchan. Should they Grom or go? Should they Grom or go? Anas, the exotics, the Shanchan exotics, do you want them to lean into this idea? Do you want to be seeing the exotics like one, all, or do you think like that's just too much to put on this new audience that's coming into the Wheel of Time?
I mean, the Game of Thrones didn't get their elephant, so we need to get our shredded, in. So that would be cool. I mean, I think so. I think they look exotic with their armor and all that, but it takes it a whole different level. And the Rock and Torok in terms of how they scout, there's so much you can get from that. I think it really adds to, wow, these people are totally different. Not just in what they do with the Demani and things like that, but they have these different creatures. And yeah, I think for sure keep all of that.
Okay. By the way, I'm gonna, before I get Leia's answer, I want to say this. I don't know why I threw this up here. People in chat start arguing about random stuff, and I like to poll them about the thing that we're arguing about. Somehow the slog got involved into what was happening. We didn't cover the slog in the Wheel of Game Time. That's just what happens in chat. Does the slog exist? What I love about Wheel of Time fandom is yes gets 25, no gets 37%, and 38% said not this again. way to vote with your not this again. I love it. Okay, the Shanchan exotics for you, Leia. What do you think about including them in the show? We're gonna get. Do you want to see something kind of flying around? Is that too close to dragons, if you will?
No, I don't think it is. It's a hard yes for me, and I don't think it's too close to dragons, especially if they depict them very well. And this is they've done, the Rafe and the team has done a fantastic job with all of the depictions so far, and I very much trust them to not make it look like dragons, to make it have its own unique flavor. So yeah.
Okay, well, I want to ask, should they include Wat dragons? Yes, Wat dragons. You know what I'm talking about, the rockin' and the toe rockin'. I'm kind of curious. Michael in chat just said, I don't want to see Rockin' on the level of episode 8 Trollocs. Okay, you've been heard. Okay, we'll see what they come up with. While that poll's going, let's spin this wheel again. And we got 11. Let's see what question 11 is, or topic. This one, Anas came up with this one. Matt Rand Perrin boy band names. So Anas, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Did you have a boy band name in mind when you came up with this topic?
I did not.
Okay.
The Wonder Boys, nah.
The Wonder Boys.
Something with the tavern. So the 3 tavern.
It's a lot harder. Like, you came up with the topic, you're like, okay, who out there in chat has a good boy band name for Matt Rand and Perrin? Yeah, Leia, do you have a good boy band name?
I don't know if it's good. 2 Rivers to Back.
Oh, nice.
I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
TRT with a small R.
TRT with a small R on 2 Rivers to Back. I love it. I like. Okay, so people are starting to throw some things out.
RPM.
RPM. That's
Ramapo. Ramapo.
There was one I really, hold on a second. I think it was like pulled back there. This was the Back River Boys. That's pretty good. Okay, little Badger boys. Everyone's kind of going with the boys. Yeah, that makes sense. I do like Two Rivers Tabak.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, that one wins it for me.
Yeah.
Boys to Manetheren is the winner of this short game. Nice job. That was awesome, Mike. Thank you very much for playing. That was hilarious. Okay, I like how people are going. I love it. Keep going with the names. I'll try to pull some in here. Did we already have 14? I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we did. Okay. This one comes to us from Brian. Brian, my friend in chat, if he's still here. I don't know if I've seen Brian out there, but favorite pizza toppings. That's right, favorite pizza toppings. Leah, what are your favorite pizza toppings?
I love my meat lovers pizza toppings. So just all the meat on it, and then extra cheese.
I feel like this is a classic moment to ask this question. About 100 of you voted, should they include Wat dragons? 89% of you said yes, they should. So, yeah, you guys all want to see it. You're like, yeah, Game of Thrones doesn't get to own flying creatures. That's right. So I have to ask this kind of question. Is pineapple a pizza topping? You know, and, you know, people disagree about this. So I got to ask everybody. For you and us, what do you put on a pizza?
I don't think it matters because I don't know if I'll get to eat it. So, you know, people steal pizza all the time. You know, that happens. So, plain.
That's so sad.
Plain. Did you say plain? Plain pizza?
You can have some of my pizza.
Yeah, I was going to say pizza toppings don't matter because I'm happy to try any pizza you want to buy. That's I like it. What's funny about this question for people, I already see that there are people that disagree about pineapple. You can ask it to any human beings, they always disagree. So we have a couple minutes left. We have one caller calling in. Let's bring them there from this is a long distance call. Let's get them in as soon as possible. Hey, welcome to the Dusty Wheel. Who's this?
Hey, Matt. This is actually two of us, but we're sitting 3 hours apart. It's Koala Sadai and
Tari Sadai.
Hey, Tari and Koala, how you doing?
We're doing great.
Now, you guys, tell everybody where you're calling from.
So we're calling from the land of madmen, and I'm on the East Coast, New South Wales, and Tari's up in Brisbane.
That's all the way from the land of madmen. I love it. Okay, so you're going to be with us.
Yes, indeed.
You're going to be with us for the next question here. So we'll go to you first with this question. For those of you that voted on is pineapple a pizza topping, 37% are sure that no. And thank you, Tam Loves Cats. Yes, we will give away a mug here before the end. Just remind me one more time. Okay, we're going to spin this wheel, everybody, and we'll ask you, Koala and Tari, what your answer is to the next prompt. I need to spin that faster, don't I? I feel like I'm not spinning. 18. Okay. So, who would you want to play in the Wheel of Time if the Wheel of Time was real? So, Koala, who would you want to be in the Wheel of Time if it was actually real and you were living in that world?
I'm too short, but I would love to be Aviendha.
Aviendha is who you would pick. And I want to say this, again, this is kind of spoiler. We won't go into deep spoiler territory, but think about this, you know, knowing their character arc in the books. Aviendha, that's a good choice. That's a good choice. Tari, who would you want to play in the Wheel of Time? Or not play in this case, be in reality.
Well, I guess, I don't know if it would be a specific character, but I would probably just be a brown sister, lost somewhere in stacks of books in a library somewhere.
Okay,
but if I have to choose, probably Varen.
Varen. Okay, yeah, I love it. That's a daring choice, and I won't explain exactly why, but that's a great choice. I love it. Anas, who would you want to be in real life if you could be a Wheel of Time character?
Jane Farsighter. I think he gets up to a lot of stuff, and his ending.
Nice.
I love his ending.
that is a Leia. Who would you want to be?
Brigida.
Brigida.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a really
It's
good.
kind of
Oh.
blasphemous. Not saying Aiel, but yeah, Brigida and I are just.
I like it. I have no idea who I'd want to be. This is a great question. I think I would have wanted to have lived in the. I think I will just take like one of the. How about this? One of the. Yeah, it could be. I'm just trying to think if I would want to. I don't know why this is difficult because I want to be. I want to be living for a long time. Yeah, one of the 100 companions. How about that? I would want to be one of the 100 companions that went with Luz Theron. So, I know that they were technically young Aes Sedai at the time, but I want to have like lived like a really long time and then still chosen him. So I want to be the random, really long-lived Aes Sedai that was like, I'm going with Luz Theron. So. I guess that doesn't really count. I'm just making up a random character that clearly existed as part of this. Okay, I love it.
You could be the first male king member.
I could do that. I like that like you said, you picked the brown Aja, and that I feel that intensely. I just want to be researching a lot, in the tower. I'm good with that. Okay, here we go. We'll do one more while you're with us and get your thoughts, Koala and Tari, on the news today, and then we'll get a mug and wrap this up. So let's see. Our last topic of the day is lucky number 13. Okay. When you are not watching the Wheel of Time, what are you watching? So, what's your go-to, Koala, if you're not watching the Wheel of Time?
I've just been rewatching Breaking Bad, actually.
Oh.
Ooh,
And I've
I have
just started
not.
The Expanse.
I have not seen Breaking Bad. My son and my wife are disappointed in me, and they tell me this all the time. So let me ask everybody out there: should I watch Breaking Bad? Everyone says it's great. I don't know. I watched the first episode. I just wasn't that impressed. So maybe I need to give it more of a chance.
Episode 2 will pull you in.
Will it? Okay. Is that what I'm missing here?
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched it either, Matt.
So Tari, what are you watching? What's your kind of go-to show right now, or just one of your favorite shows that you've watched recently?
Well, I just finished watching the newest season of Love, Death and Robots, and it was amazing. And something really good if you just want something really quick and interesting to watch. So good.
Okay. So Love, Death, and Robots and Breaking Bad. I'm actually surprised at this poll. I'm getting more no's than I thought I would, considering how popular it is. Okay.
Dark Friends.
Leia, what are you watching when you're not watching The Wheel of Time?
Currently rewatching The Expanse.
Ooh,
which got really confusing because I was also simultaneously re-listening to the books, and I just had to completely separate them. So I'm finishing the show right now, and then I'll continue to re-listen to the books.
Yeah, I've been told that I should be reading those books now that I've watched. I love the show. Anas, for you, what are you watching when you're not watching The Wheel of Time?
Some people may know I might be a little bit obsessed with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ewan McGregor. So
nice.
That is what I've been watching. Maybe a few times as the episodes come out. So,
some Kenobi. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That's a. And I recently, this was a while back, but I loved it. Dark. If you've never seen Dark,
yes.
You should watch it.
Oh, that's so good.
I wish now, honestly, that I had done a live stream watching the show and then talking to fans, because I would have loved to have kind of given my theories at the time of what was happening. That was just, I could not stop, and that was until I would stop and it wouldn't come back. So I wish I had kind of live streamed my watching of that. But yes, Dark. Go.
So maybe in a mirror world, this show was after dark.
Exactly. Love it. By the way, should I watch Breaking Bad? 40% said no. Taylor is off to my side, freaking out that you guys don't think. Like 40% have actually said no. I know. So I absolutely can't believe that. So Koala, what did you think about the news today? Before we kind of pick a mug winner and let you guys go here. Thoughts about this news drop about Aviendha and Perrin?
That is not Aviendha.
Ooh, you are a Jenny believer. Wow. Wow. I knew I was going to run into some of you out there because I guess 40% she got. You believe that's not Aviendha. Okay. Tari, do you agree with this?
Look, I'm not sure yet, but
okay.
I don't see it being a problem being Aviendha.
Okay.
Bringing her in earlier is fine with me, and any way they want to do it, I'm down, as long as it's not another love triangle.
Okay, that is my favorite comment of the night. Do you want another love triangle? That is look, there's some love triangles in the books. So do you want another one in the show? I love it. Hey, Tari and Koala, thank you so much for calling in. I hope you will do this again. It was awesome to hear your voices, and I really appreciate you making the time to call us tonight. Have a wonderful. What is it for you right now? Is it early morning? What should I say? Have a good what?
Midday on Thursday.
Okay. Have a good rest of your Thursday from the land of madmen. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Matt. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Taylor, Koala just called. That was crazy. That was awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Taylor finally entered the room, everybody. Again, he's back because we're going to give away a mug. He doesn't like it when I tell you that he wasn't here in the first place. But do you want another love triangle? I like that almost 20% of people said yes. That's just people trolling the poll. That's for sure. Okay. So if you're still here, you happen to have gone through this whole show with us, and we give away a mug at the end of the show on Wednesdays. Look, Zazzle hasn't had a sale recently that I've caught. So a lot of you are like, when's my mug coming? Whenever I get to the sale. So, but you will get it. I promise. I'm trying to think if there's anyone out there that did not get a mug over the last 3 years that won one, please, contact me. By the way, we're coming up on 3 years. Is that insane or what? That will be in August. Taylor, we should have the studio ready by that time, right? by our third year. That'll be our goal when we celebrate our third year, either on the like soft anniversary, which is like September 1st or whatever, September 4th, or that initial anniversary of August. It does. We should do audio problems again. We have audio problems. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so for those of you that are in chat, please do enter the raffle. On the off season between shows, that's the best time you have to win a mug. Have either of you won a mug? I can't remember. Have you ever won a mug in one of these polls?
I did back in, I think, February or January. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Are you one of the ones I haven't sent a mug yet to? Or did you get your mug? I can't even see it. I can't see the
you can't see.
right
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, no.
Taylor has. I know. I was like, it went really quiet. He must be showing you his mug right now. Taylor put a screen up so I could not see you. So you're showing. I was like, did you get one? Did you get one? You're like, yeah, it's right here. Taylor, you missed it. I made Anas an honorary mod today at the beginning of the show. It happened. It was awesome. Anas, what was so great about that moment was all of the mods were like, well, yeah, Anas should be a mod. So there you go. You got all of the, all I saw was like, well, duh. That's correct. This was just the Innkeeper clearly understanding what all the mods felt. So you got the support of the mods with you, if you will. So don't be surprised if an invitation comes your way, is all I'm saying. Okay, so for all of you that are in chat, thank you very much for joining this. By the time you hear this, Taylor will have likely turned off the opportunity for you to join the raffle, but please do try to join the raffle. What was that, Taylor?
I don't know if the raffle's going to work today.
Why is that?
Because it's not showing up.
Taylor, can you not end the raffle? Is that so?
Can we just do it now?
Yeah, close the entries and let's see what happens here. I love this hashtag Anas for mod. That's right. Taylor just tried to. You all entered the raffle. Did you already? Taylor's gonna do the raffle again. Look, I know it's not your fault. It's just tech. It's just tech, guys.
It's not
Look,
a show if you don't have tech issues of one type or another.
this is the deal, and you should feel this. We moved from our previous studio. This is only our second show back, so you should think this is like the second show these guys have ever done. That's kind of what's happening at this point. So let's try this again. We'll see if people show up in the raffle. Yes. Join the raffle again and let's see. Oh, there we go. You look at that. If you missed the first raffle, you have a chance to join it again.
Have you shown everyone the difference in wheels?
Have I shown them? Oh, have I shown everybody?
We're waiting.
Oh, Taylor's like, well, let's kill some time. So, oh yeah, you want the mouse over here, Taylor? Yeah, there you go. So demanding here. Taylor, what do you think this word says? Do you see this word down here? Right here on the screen in front of us, that blurred word. Do you want to move that other screen so you can see that? Yeah. I'm going to have Taylor try to interpret the blurred word here, everybody. He was out of the... What do you think that says?
Circus.
Circus, everyone. That is what the word is. Taylor just unblurred it live. It is circus.
Orcas?
Circus.
Wait.
What did you say?
Orcas?
Orcas. Yes, that's exactly... that's exactly what it says.
I mean, Taylor has definitely read the books now. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind
clear,
that after
Taylor's read
Circus,
the books.
Hello. I didn't realize I was on here.
Yeah. Taylor wants to show you, like, if you didn't see the difference between this custom fan-made, wheel
This one
of
obviously
game
didn't
time.
take any time to make.
Yeah.
That was very, very easy, very cheap.
Yes.
This one.
Look at that sucker.
Obviously.
Look at let's spin these. Let's hear them. Go ahead and spin that sucker. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. That's just.
Wow.
How could you ever go back to this? No offense to Costco out there, but you hold nothing to our.
This is IKEA.
Oh, it's IKEA. Oh, well, no offense to IKEA
I don't
either.
know if Costco. No, Costco might sell it.
Yeah.
do you want to break that wheel?
Yes, we can't break the wheel. No breaking the wheel.
No calves.
You did roll above
we will
10
open up
for
our-
Okay, Taylor, go
above
shut
10.
off the. Oh yeah, you can end the. And
just gonna
did
give
you already
it
end the
back.
raffle?
Fine.
Ooh, spinny ASMR. Okay, Taylor, let's. You were gonna give him some calves. Did you just say? Okay.
I was gonna like say something funny and then you kind of interrupted me.
Yeah, I did. Okay, we're going to close the entries here. Thanks, everybody, for joining the raffle. You have a huge opportunity now versus, like, when the season gets closer, that's for sure. Sister Porridge probably says blur. That would be funny. Okay, Taylor, pick us our winner tonight. The winner is... I don't know, is it Diver Samel, or Diverse AML, Diversamel. I don't know. That's something like that. Congratulations on winning a Dusty Wheel mug tonight. Hopefully you see this in chat. If you do, basically look for the link to Discord or social media in the description of this video. You can find me somewhere either in social media or Discord, and let us know that you did win. Hopefully we see you here. We like to just make sure that you did before we check out. So while we're waiting for Diversemel, or however you pronounce the name, until that happens, let me bring you both back on the screen. Leia, how's this been? Your first trip to the Dusty Wheel?
It's been wonderful. And actually, I got a whole bunch of tissues before the show because I was certain I was going to cry during that Perrin scene.
No.
So,
Yes.
I actually prepped by watching What You Feeling to talk about grief. But, if you guys want to talk about that, come on Threefold Talk tomorrow, and I might cry there.
So what's the topic? And maybe tell people that don't know about Threefold Talk, what is that show? I mean, you guys obviously have a show every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you go to Malgear Talks YouTube, you can find the links there. We also post on Twitter and in several Discord servers. So we try to announce the show. It's kind of an IEL variety show, I guess is the best way to talk about it. We have just a bunch of different segments that we do. Daily Veil is one of our consistent ones where we talk about the news of the week. So we will also be talking about this article, especially because it is about IEL.
What? That's crazy that you guys will be talking
IEL want to talk about IEL things.
Why would you do that? That's yeah. No, I figured as soon as I saw the news, I was like, well, I know what the Thursday topic's going to be over there. So.
Oh yes, we're all very excited. Yeah, so come join us. It's a good time. I will be drinking wine instead of water, so we get sassy there.
There is a certain sassiness that is it's adorable. You should go and check them out. I love jumping in a chat, mostly because I don't have to run a show, and so I love kind of trolling everybody in the show. Malker Talk says tomorrow is a search for Stone Wolf. There you go.
Mm-hmm. And you are featured very frequently in our show because you have said one of our favorite words.
What? Oh, this one. Yes. Malker Talks is wondering if I have the button. I do have the button. By the way, the button story is really funny. It was sat in a piece of luggage for a long time, and it got thrown around like as we were moving. And every once in a while, I'd be like, I hear this butt rock, like just like randomly in this like I would like move like a bag, and I just hear butt rock random. It was awesome. So, but it has been taken out of that bag since, so I know where that is. So excellent. we should feature that on the. We should definitely feature that on the shelf here. Don't you think, Taylor? Taylor's looking at me this look. Okay.
Taylor just presses it randomly during the show.
Yes, Taylor just randomly during the show presses it. That's right. So, by the way, thank you very much. I'm glad you are here. Carrie, that is the correct way to break down my handle. So Carrie was helping us out here. Diver Sam L. There we go. Thank you. It's very helpful. Appreciate that to Carrie and to Diver Sam L. That's great. Okay, so that's it, everybody. That was another ridiculous show here at the Dusty Wheel. Like we will work into, back into shape as we get to more and more shows. But if you remember, let me just or not double, I should say, just remind you. I was gonna say double check with you, but that would not make any sense. Let me remind you that this is our next show coming up, Lord of Chaos. That's right, with the Wheel Weaves podcast. Danny and Brett are going to be with us. That one's going to be a blast. And after that, please do show up. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Rebirth of the Wheel of Time PC game. We're going to actually be live gaming this game, and you can see how bad I am. Taylor likes to call me he likes to say that I'm the guy that just jumps around until he gets basically shot. That's basically true. And then I can't wait for this show. This will be a lot of fun. Talking about Amazon adaptations, Rings of Power, and the Wheel of Time with the nerd of the rings and Christy Lucier. That one's gonna be a lot. That was gonna be a blast. And last but not least, as I promised you all, yes, this show is coming in July. It will happen. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. So unless it doesn't. So okay. That is it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This was a blast. Anas, thank you very much. Last question, Anas. Don't blink if you'd like to be a mod.
It's like
this is hard. This is hard.
I'm just kidding. Okay. Here we go. Taylor, give me that mouse. Just messing with you there. Thanks a lot for both being here and being good sports tonight. This was a lot of fun for me.
Yep.
And love having new guests. And like I said out there on Twitter, if you didn't see this, if you'd like to be a guest here at the Dusty Wheel, it's just $100. I'll give you the address. You just send it there. No, if you'd like to be a guest on the Dusty Wheel, I have a whole Twitter thread about it. But basically, just once I get to know you and know more about you, it's easier for me to bring you into the show. So show up here. I don't know, we're chatting on Twitter, whatever it is. I threw out number of ways that can happen. But yes, I would love to have more new and diverse voices here at the Dusty Wheel, even though we've had over 200 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just have more and more guests, more and more fans, and share the love. So that is it, everyone. Okay. You probably need to get back to whatever you were doing today. Thank you for spending the evening with us. As we say around here, good night from the Dusty Wheel, and smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're already. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well. And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the two rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't. So,
Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
sad.
not
I see Naomi as something along the lines of a Shida Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Will Show. What? Meme Off Challenge. Yay!
Pair of like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all of a sudden,
This is not just
like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi
And
elements.
just a moment ago, Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guest in here with me. And
probably, I would say, put in 70, 80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,